Hello and good morning, Kinaway community, and to all our friends in the business community joining us here this morning. Before we get into this morning's webinar, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land in which I am coming to you all from. And I would also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land in which each and every one of us are tuning in from, and pay respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. I'd also like to remind you all that Kinaway are still offering the usual forms of business support for our members and your families. So if you feel the need, reach out to any of us, any of the team here at Kinaway, and we'll be happy to help you out in any way we can. Now that I have that out of the way, it is time to kick off this morning's webinar. As you can see, we have a bunch of deadly, treadly guests with us, of who I will get to introduce themselves to you, as they will do a much better job than I will. So let's start with the deadliest sister of them all. Janae, would you like to introduce yourself to the Kinaway community this morning?
Kaya, most people know me. I'm Janae Winmar Minunga, Balladong woman from Western Australia originally. Lived on Naarm for 22 years almost. I am a dual business owner and a Dream Ventures alumni. I'm helping with this year's cohort again, which I'm fortunate to be involved in. But yeah, that's me. I'm coming on from Bunurong country today, so the Eastern Kulin Nations, and I acknowledge them for thank them for letting us live, work, and play on their land.
Deadly. Beautiful. Well, let's move along to Jacob. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Thanks, Katani. Yeah, my name's Jacob Havner. I work for the Minderoo Foundation. I'm part of the team responsible for organising and delivering the Dream Venture Masterclass here in 2022. I am dialing in from Ghana country here on the Adelaide Plains. And yeah, looking forward to providing a lot of information around Dream Venture Masterclass today and answering any questions that anyone has got.
Beautiful. Like you guys might have seen in the comments, if you've got anything, questions, anything like that you'd like, just comment it and we can address it at the end of the webinar. But beautiful. Lucy, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you. I'm Lucy Hammond. I'm working with Jacob on the Generation 1 team with the Dream Masterclass this year. And all these lovely people on the screen. My background over the last almost 10 years now is entrepreneurial. I've had several startups in the technology, education and wellbeing spaces. And I'm here to answer any questions from that perspective if I can help.
Hey, beautiful. And last, and certainly not least, May, would you like to introduce yourself for us, please?
Thanks so much, Gatani. Hi, I'm May Fleming. I'm from the Wade Institute of Entrepreneurship. We're the educational partner for the Minderoo's Dream Venture Classes program, and we're really excited to be working together and support all of you to launch your business ideas or take it to the next level.
Hell yeah. What a way to start our webinar. So good. Beautiful. So let's get on with the show. So my first question for you guys is, what is the Dream Venture Masterclass? Who would like to answer?
I'm happy to cover off on that one. So the Dream Venture Masterclass is a program that's designed to assist Indigenous entrepreneurs to take their business to the next level. And we recognise that there are a lot of huge opportunities for Indigenous entrepreneurs out there today, but there are also a bunch of barriers that need to be systemically broken down to assist these businesses to thrive. One of those barriers is access to capital, access to networks to help business owners raise capital and grow their businesses. So Dream Venture Masterclass is designed to do just that. It brings together 40 of Australia's finest Indigenous entrepreneurs and gives them the opportunity over a 4-week period in August to really get some mentoring and training around how to build a pitch, how to plan the future of their business, how to articulate their value proposition. And then at the end of that 4-week program, there's an opportunity for everyone to get together in Melbourne and for a big showcase gala pitch event where a whole bunch of the participants will have an opportunity to pitch their business to a room full of sort of investors and philanthropic organisations and grant funders and I suppose movers and shakers in the business sector to see if they can build networks and also, raise capital. I think one of the exciting things about this year's program is at that final pitch event, we have an award pool of $150,000 that will be awarded on the night and granted to Indigenous entrepreneurs and to invest in their businesses and take that next step.
Man, that sounds so exciting. My ears are burning personally. I hope everybody is excited as I am. Next question, and I find this one really good to know, but who is eligible to apply to the Dream Venture Masterclass? Is it all ages or does it have a youth focus? Or who would like to fill us in?
Lucy, do you want to have a crack at that one?
Sure, why not? So we've got 2 streams this year. We've got a youth stream, which is 18 to 30 years, and an all ages stream, which is anyone else. So it can include everybody.
No, that's
I might also add to that, actually, in case anyone's interested to know. The youth stream, although we are looking for entrepreneurs who have a strong vision to grow their company into scale, it's also worth considering if you're really early on in that process and you've got a really great idea that you'd like some support with. So there's a broad range of entrepreneurs looking at the opportunity.
Yeah, that's awesome. So there's not a lot holding you guys back to checking out this opportunity. Well, beautiful. So my next question, what will an entrepreneur get out of participating in the masterclass?
I'm happy to touch on that one. The masterclasses will be delivered by Wade Institute for Entrepreneurship, and we've got May Fleming here on the line to provide a bit more information around who Wade is and why they're the best in the business. But as I said before, the 4-week course before the pitch event is all around providing mentorship and education to entrepreneurs to help them really refine the vision for their business, refine their value proposition, and then be prepared to pitch. So some of the key things that you will get out of this course, so you'll build an amazing network of other Indigenous entrepreneurs and business leaders and mentors in the sector, and you'll build a network of potential investors and supporters for your business. But you'll also, from an educational point of view, we're going to touch on issues like, making sure everyone understands what's the different types of capital available to you out there and what is the best fit for your business. So we know that some businesses are looking for grants, some are looking for loans, some are keen for crowdfunding, some are keen for equity investment and venture capital. We'll cover the gamut of that and help you decide what is best for your business at this stage. And we'll also help you really refine what your sort of short to medium term vision for your business is and be able to put that in a pitch deck or a PowerPoint presentation. So then you can go out to the world and let the world know how awesome your business is and what you've got to offer. And then, there'll be a whole bunch of other topics covered. But I think importantly, whilst we've got an overarching curriculum for the course already designed, we're waiting until we know who is going to participate in the program so we can actually custom design the course for the people participating to make sure it's as sort of powerful and valuable to you as you go on that 4-week journey with us.
Man, that sounds deadly. Even I have dreams of I'd like a business one day, but I don't know, I don't have education in this one area. Well, this masterclass sounds like the exact place to go to find that stuff out.
Sorry, Katani, just to cover off on that as well. So there'll be a little bit of coursework each week, but you'll also have access to mentors and advisors who will be working personally with you to help you on your actual specific journey. So it won't just be a generic course. It'll be very intensive and focused on helping each individual entrepreneur rather than, just trying to create a catch-all for everyone to participate in. Does that sound about right, Janaea?
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute as well. I think like I was going to add to one of the other things as well. It's like Indigenous business owners in the room with Indigenous business owners. I think that's very powerful too. We forget how unique we are at various stages in our journey and our life cycle of our business, and stepping out and being an Indigenous entrepreneur is one of those things that is very scary, especially like the tall poppy syndrome, where you already have a cohort of alumni that are ready to support you on this journey. So yeah, I think that's why I keep coming back.
Yeah, I love that. I was also going to add tall poppy, imposter syndrome. I mean, some of the really simple things that you might also get out of the course, along with all of that wonderful stuff and that exposure that Jacob was talking about, would possibly be building the confidence to get up on a stage and to practice your pitch multiple times so that you really feel like you could nail it when push comes to shove and you're in front of an investor and it really matters.
Yeah, and what better place and forum to learn that and get more confident in that than around, other mob who are doing probably the same thing, and that sounds so exciting. Also, I can imagine the coursework wouldn't be like boring coursework like uni. It'll be like actually interesting. So don't get scared off by that, people watching. Well, beautiful. The next question I have, I think we kind of talked a little bit about it, but I'll go through it anyway, just in case we've got some other comments or ideas to add to it. But I am still very early in my journey as an entrepreneur. Can I apply if I'm still at the ideas stage of setting up my business? That was me acting.
I'm happy to get the ball rolling on that. So as Lucy and Janaea have said already, we've got two streams. One's for young entrepreneurs and one's for the over 30s. For the youth program, so for the under 30s, that is open to entrepreneurs. You can just have an idea. You might even just have an aspiration to become an entrepreneur and want to understand how to go about it. You can be really early in your journey there. So yeah, that youth program is open to really anyone who's just got that drive and dream to start their own business. For the over 30s program, we're being a bit more focused. So that is for entrepreneurs who have an established business that is already sort of in the market, trying to, already maybe generating some revenue already and are ready to take that next step. So I think they're the key differences between the two programs. And so the youth program, you can be a young entrepreneur with an existing business as well, but it's more broad. We're opening that up to a much broader spectrum of entrepreneurs. So does that make sense? Does that sort of break it down clearly?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
It's like a nice little, hands out to everybody. Come with us. See how cool it is to be an entrepreneur. I know I'm getting excited. So y'all watching, got to get onto it, or it might be myself that's in there. You got to beat me to it.
I was actually at Wade Institute the other day with May and the team there, and I was really surprised to hear that really sort of the average age of a burgeoning entrepreneur out there in the mainstream is about sort of 42, sort of late 30s, early 40s. So to find young entrepreneurs anywhere in Australia, it's rare, and that's why we're opening that youth program up to people with an idea or a dream, as well as those people who've already got their business, because it's a scary process starting your own business, being an entrepreneur and taking that punt. It's even scarier when you're sort of young and still sort of finding your way in the world. So really keen to get some young whippersnappers and go-getters who are keen to make their mark on the world in that youth program.
I'm 25. Am I a whippersnapper?
I don't know. I'm the wrong side of
That makes total sense, because us whippersnappers, you think you have to get a career in someone else's business, but hey, what if you make your own career for yourself with your own business? Now that sounds exciting.
Katani, I think that's a really good point as well, because you can, you can faff around for years and years trying to make it on your own and figure out what you're supposed to be doing. But in a program like this, it can really give you a head start and push you forward years so that you're doing what you want to be doing much faster.
Yeah. And I'm assuming, like, I mean, I'm hardly the person to be like having big opinions, but the feeling I'm getting is like, if you've got fears stopping you from doing that, this is the perfect place to nip those fears in the bud and then provide you resources and learning and confidence and all those things to actually like make that a reality. You guys can bring me on board for this. I'll be a spokesperson. I'm getting excited. Well, beautiful. I think the next question's gonna have people's ears burning who are watching, but could you tell us a little bit more about the $150,000 of seed funding that will be awarded at the showcase? Talking about that money. Who out of all of y'all would like to talk about the money?
Jacob?
Jacob's got the ball rolling there as well. So this is a really generous contribution from the Minderoo Foundation, and to make the program, well, to give the program tangible outcomes other than educational outcomes for participants. I think it's an absolutely brilliant idea to start this award pool and to have $150,000 be awarded by a panel of judges at the showcase pitch event. We don't know how that $150,000 is going to get broken up. We're going to have $75,000 available to the youth program pitches and $75,000 available to the over 30s pitches. How that's broken up and what the the judging criteria for that is defined, we don't know yet. We're working on that. We'll probably work on that with the participants as we go through the program. But there will be some criteria that the judges will use to help decide how that money is awarded. And it could be a little bit of money for everyone, or it could be a couple of larger grants to some of those more promising businesses. So I suppose it's up in the air, and it'll be up to all of us to help define how that money will best be invested to have granted to have the best impact on the entrepreneurs and enterprises that are sort of emerging out of the program.
Awesome. Even more exciting. How can this Dream Venture Masterclass get any better from this point? I'm getting excited for all of you guys watching. Well, that's exciting. I have a next question coming up. So, and I can see people are heart reacting and liking, so I think everyone's getting very keen, you guys. Did you have something you wanted to add before I start rambling on further?
I think I'm happy to ramble for you, Katani. I think what we'll find as well is that as more and more corporates and community partners find out about Dream Ventures, a lot of them are wanting to contribute prizes as well. So whilst Minderoo Foundation has put up that initial $150,000 prize pool, we might find that by the time the pitch night comes around, there'll be other awards available that some of the other big corporate partners are keen to contribute. So yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, so
and also, as well as prize money, there may well be in-kind support from other organisations and other opportunities to pursue for participants.
Yeah, so exciting.
I noticed that Mandy has commented there as well, where she's asked a question, is there any opportunities that may come out of it if you don't get awarded investments? And yes, the answer to that is yes. So one of the big, we want first of all your relationships with your networks and your mentors to extend beyond the life of the program. So and to keep those relationships strong and healthy beyond the program, but also Generation One and other funding bodies out there will be looking at the Dream Venture Masterclass participants as a potential sort of pipeline businesses to support in their own programs. So if you don't get awarded anything on the night, I think there is opportunity to be introduced to other potential funders out of the program and start building relationships there. So there'll be, it won't just be a sort of a one-off opportunity. We're wanting this to be sort of to reverberate and echo and give entrepreneurs more opportunities down the line.
And I think, Jacob, also to mention, some of our sponsors do offer sponsorship deals and packages throughout the program if you're participating. So that's something to watch out for too if you do apply, because we have a network link that you get shared different information. Might be a percentage off subscriptions or support in kind. So there's a lot of opportunities throughout the program. So I think, apply.
Yeah, apply now. And
I would also say, just quickly, Katani, don't underestimate the connections that you'll make in a program like this, because even if there you don't get any investment on the actual program, I think for me it was very much about those connections and who would speak to who about you, and just random spontaneous meetings that would come out of opportunities like that would lead to something much bigger. So the relationships you build in the program can go far.
Yeah, you never know with these sorts of things, the sort of people that you might meet and who might hear your story or meet you and really relate to you and believe in you, or it's always events or programs or things like this where you have those like fate meetings with people, and it seems like you can only yes, serendipitous, that's my favorite word. I use it when I shouldn't use it really, but I will go for it. But it sounds like you can really only take steps forward doing this program, and if that includes like cash money, then like hell yeah. Beautiful. So what is unique about Dream Venture Masterclass in comparison to maybe some other business development opportunities that are already out there?
I think I can go with this one. The uniqueness of it is it's really powerful, because when we first started the Dream Ventures program 2 years ago, I walked into a room full of other Indigenous businesses, but then also in a secondary room was other Indigenous businesses that were looking at being investors, and looking at the power of growth, and the conversations that were happening just in those two rooms was really impactful. And then I think the ability that Dream Venture has had is it's evolved over the period of time. So this is the third installment. So it comes with that dollar value attached to it now, because we saw the need to change and progress. And even with how we are involving Wade, we are having conversations based on those last two sessions that we have had with Dream Ventures, and issues that have arisen or comments that we've had from participants or alumni now, and we continue to have. I think that's the big important thing that we've managed to successfully evolve to make a better impact, and I think that's really important. So when we're looking at that uniqueness, it's that change that we're making, but it's practical change. So yeah.
And I think that's probably maybe a good segue to introduce May from Wade Institute as well, because I think what is super powerful about this year's program is that the coursework and the program is actually being delivered by the Wade Institute for Entrepreneurship. Not many people have heard of the Wade Institute, but it is one of the best in the business in terms of supporting entrepreneurs on their journey. So,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say take it away, May, but I don't want to put you on the spot.
No, all good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Maybe you could just let the community know who Wade Institutes are and who you are, and
Yeah, great. Thank you. And thank you, Jacob, for the kind words. So just to start off, maybe I'll just tell you a little bit about Wade Institute. We were established in 2015 with the support of an entrepreneur, a travel entrepreneur called Peter Wade. He successfully sold his business overseas, and he came back to Australia, and he was a bit worried about, the future economy. And, he really believes Australia's a smart nation, but he wants to, or he established Wade Institute so that, we can support, aspiring, entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs to generate more ideas and businesses to secure our future. So that's the beginning of how Wade Institute was started. And basically, we're all about building an entrepreneurial society through our immersive educational programs, which, aim to build capability, the confidence, the community. So when you were talking about before, about the cohort bond, that's really important. And that's something that's really integral to our programs. And, the programs go far beyond the learning and the time that you're with us. It's a whole network and community that supports, and it's the ecosystem that supports you. In terms of the style of learning that we do, we have a learn by doing approach. We feel that's the best way. It's got the academic rigor, but then it's got the practical application. So that's really puts it into practice, and that's how it builds your confidence and your capability. So some of the programs that we offer, so we started off with the University of Melbourne's Master of Entrepreneurship program, which we've been doing since 2016. And we also have a VC Catalyst program, which is an investor program supported by the Victorian startup agency, LaunchVic, and that's aimed to, develop more sophisticated investors into the ecosystem, because we know that early stage startups need it the most. We also have a K-12 teacher training program called Upschool, and so we're training the younger generation through the teachers, and it's got other benefits in terms of, teaching resilience, all those great entrepreneurial attributes. Teamwork, collaboration, being creative, all these great things. And then we also do custom programs such as Dream Venture Masterclasses.
Man, I'm really happy to be learning about, all of you, Wade Institute and with Minderoo Foundation as well. I hope everybody watching is noting down these guys. And also, I think I'll mention at the end of this webinar, I'll link everybody in the description or the comments below. So if you stick around for 2 minutes after the webinar, you'll have those resources to go and check everybody out, because I'm trying to contain my enthusiasm at the moment, for real. Beautiful. So thank you so much, May. So my next question here is, I'm just wondering if you guys are able to tell us about the partnership between United Nations and City Foundation. Who would like to take that one? Anybody? Nobody?
Sorry. I'm watching Janaya and Lucy to see if they're about to talk, but I'm happy to cover off on that one as well. So the youth program in Dream Venture Masterclass this year is being run in partnership with Youth CoLab. And Youth CoLab is the Asia Pacific's largest youth entrepreneurship program, which is run by the United Nations and City Foundation. It will give those young entrepreneurs linkages into an amazing network of entrepreneurs and mentors and opportunities, not only in Australia, but across the Asia Pacific region. And once a year, all of the participants in the Youth CoLab program, so coming out of the youth program of Dream Venture Masterclass, they actually get to travel to somewhere in the region and all get together and, build networks and spruik their businesses. That's actually happening in Singapore in 2 weeks' time, the 4th to the 7th of July, the Youth CoLab Summit. So some of you will be given the opportunity to dial in to that Youth CoLab Summit to learn more about what they do over there at the United Nations. But really going forward, any graduates out of our youth program in Dream Venture will be linked straight into all of the opportunities and programs that the United Nations offer through that sort of ongoing stream of sort of programs that they run through Youth CoLab. So that's just a little bit of icing on the cake, I think, in terms of participating in Dream Venture for the youth program this year.
Oh, definitely. And I just realized, our members, you guys might not be in that age bracket for the youth programs, but, you might have, a family member or, niece, nephew, son, daughter, somebody that has that drive and that dream. So, make sure to send them this webinar so that they can, see the sorts of opportunities out there for them. We'll have this in our newsletter. I'll try to put it everywhere so that we can really get the word out about the program, especially to our young mob as well. I say young mob, but that's my age bracket. Me and my people. Well, beautiful. So my next question, I guess these are two sort of like housekeeping-ish sort of questions, and I'll say these before we get to talking about the gala pitch. But are there any costs associated with the program?
The program's free for everyone to participate in, but also importantly, anyone who needs any sort of travel assistance getting to Melbourne for the gala pitch event, and we'll provide sort of travel and accommodation funding as well to make sure everyone can get there and enjoy themselves and get home safely. So there should be sort of no real out-of-pocket expenses for any of the participants.
Man, that's so deadly. And that was my next question. Jacob's a mind reader. He knew. So yeah, gala pitch showcase. You get that travel and you get that accommodation. So what really is holding you back, Kinaway community? I see you watching. You better be clicking the apply button. Well, excellent. So I guess there really is only one last question, and then we can wrap up. And I'll let these guys, if you guys have any questions watching, pop them in now, and we'll talk about them before we hit the road. But the last question, and I think it's important to talk about, if a business owner or if a member or anybody watching is currently running their own business, but they still want to be involved, what amount of time do they need to have to be able to commit and to participate in the program? And then the follow-up question is it online or is it in person? But yeah. I'm looking at Lucy. Poor Lucy. I don't know.
No, I'm happy to take this one. So I think, Jacob, you might want to correct me if I'm wrong on this. I think it was a few hours a week that you need to make yourself available, but the entire course is online. So it's very easy to access. You don't need to go anywhere. The only option for a face-to-face is that final pitch night on August the 25th, where, as Jacob said, all participants will converge in Melbourne.
How exciting. All participants will converge in Melbourne, and the accommodation will be my house. We can have a big party.
Yeah, no, the whole course is designed for people who are probably running their own business and might even have a job as well while they're starting their own business. So it is a program built for people who are hustling hard, don't have a lot of time. So yeah, there'll be sort of one afternoon a week where you'll need to dial in, but then all your engagement with your mentors and your advisors, they'll be able to sort of be work in and around what your sort of work and family life demands are. So yeah, it is designed for people who are already busy.
I think that's the real cost of the involvement. The cost is your time. So it's what's your time worth and what do you want to get out of it is really important too. It's a tool to that growth sector. Like you look at the youth, and we're hustling hard to get all these youth involved in this because we see the impact of it. Because I'm in that Wade Institute statistic entrepreneurial stage, and being a dual business owner, all of these questions that I have now are going to be answered if you're in that 18 to 30-year-old bracket as a business owner. So imagine what those youth will look like when they're my age and thriving. So I think that's really important to factor in your time, but also factor in those takeouts that you're going to be getting from that.
Absolutely. I think just to echo what you're saying, Janaea, I think it is an investment to take the time out of your business, and sometimes it's not that hard when you're running so fast in that startup phase. But I think, and Janaea, I think you'll back me up here, that it's totally worth it to step back and put that time in to help your growth trajectory.
Yeah, excellent. There doesn't seem to be a lot holding you back, from community, from pursuing your dreams. You don't have to be a certain age. You don't need to be there in person. It is online. There's nothing but, footsteps forward in the right direction. And there's nothing really other than gaining from the experience. So I'm really excited for everybody. And And I'm really grateful that you guys decided to join me today. Oh, before we get into my spiel, I see John has left a comment here. Came in late, listening for a filmmaker friend. I'm a filmmaker person too. How can he find out more about this?
So we've got a website. Sorry, Katani. Are you able to post the link? Are you able to post the links to sort of the website and the application form in the comments screen?
Oh, yes, I will be. Literally right after this, I'm going to be sitting in this chair still, and I'll be posting all of the links that you'll need. So yeah, you just keep your eye on this webinar. I'll also push out some socials with those links again. I'll send out a email for everybody. We'll make sure that it's plastered around on Kinaway, so it should be easily accessible for you. So yeah, and then John has a follow-up comment. Wow.
Applications are super simple. Like there'll be a link to the online application form. It takes about 10 minutes. It's just some very high-level information about you and your business and what you're hoping to get out of the course. And so it's kind of effortless to apply as well. It shouldn't take too much time out of your day.
Yeah, and just specifically, so I think the website is www.dreamventure.com. If you scroll down, there's a tab that says apply now. And as Jacob says, it's super easy, 10 minutes, pretty straightforward questions. So yeah, nothing's holding you back.
Yeah, that's it. You got nothing but to gain, you guys. And if you check out our socials, I think we currently have those links around, but like I said, I'll add it again just for ease of access. But yes, thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. I really enjoyed that. And I just know in my gut, in my heart, that the Kinaway community really enjoyed and appreciated you guys coming on to talk a little bit more about the Dream Venture Masterclass. But do you have any closing comments, you guys, before I start my spiel?
I think for me, if you've got any questions that you haven't been able to ask here, or if you want to go offline to ask, Lucy, Jacob and I are always around, even May to an extent when you find her information out. But anything about Dream Ventures, we're happy to answer all of these questions, even if you think they're the silly questions. We've probably heard it before.
Yeah, no question is a silly question, and this question I think is most important just before we leave. But are you Nikki Winmar's niece, Jeanette?
Yes, I am.
Hell yeah. Beautiful. Well, thank you, John, and thank you, Mandy. Sorry, I almost called you Maddie. Thank you, John and Mandy, for leaving your comments and your questions. Again, everybody watching, links will be provided right after this webinar. And if you can't sit tight, then they are there on our Instagram and our Facebook, on our LinkedIn, anywhere that you can, any platform you can think of, even Twitter. But yes, I would just like to thank everybody who joined us today. Our beautiful, deadly, friendly guests here with us, but also you guys watching from work or from home. Thank you for joining us. It's always my favorite part of the week, getting on here and yarning up with you, Mob. I hope that you all feel more informed about the Dream Venture Masterclass, and I hope that you feel excited and enthusiastic about your dreams. So I look forward to seeing what comes of that, and I know these guys do too. Again, if you wish to catch up on previous yarns like this one, feel free to jump on our Facebook, on our LinkedIn, or on our YouTube, and you can access them all there. I'd personally suggest the YouTube channel because it's a way better way of finding the videos. You just cruise over there and click the subscribe button while you're there. So yeah, thank you guys. I just take a moment quickly before we end to remind you that we've got our well-being services available. I like to make sure to remind you guys all about that while I'm here. And the best way to contact Brendan Heed, our well-being clinician, is at this number here, 1-800-Kinaway. I'm going to start picking on you guys in the community to start writing 1-800-Kinaway in the chat for me. Like, what number is it? 1-800-Kinaway. But beautiful. Thank you so much for everything, you guys. Thank you for joining us. And I guess we'll all see you next time. Thank you, everybody. Say bye.
Thanks. Bye.